Another day, another rapper in the news. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. All right, top of the top, man. Y'all already know I'm gonna bring y'all the latest and the greatest news every morning. I'm trying to be consistently bringing my family. You know what I mean? Wisdom Gang, bringing y'all that content on a regular basis. We got breaking news though. Gunna then finally turned himself in to the Fulton County on his RICO charge. Let's get into this article, and then we're gonna talk about Young Thug's father actually came out and made a statement as well. I got video of that queued up for y'all right after this. So it says that that Gunna was named Monday with fellow rapper Young Thug in that indictment along with 26 other people. It says the 28-year-old artist was booked into the county early Wednesday, and he is charged with a single count of the RICO Act. Now, again, they brought up that 56 count state indictment, which actually was going at the members of YSL, which included a range of charges from, having that work to also having them hammers with the intent to knock something down. Y'all get what I'm saying? Now, it says that the district attorney of Fulton County, she spoke about this yesterday. She said her number one focus was to actually get at the different cliques within the city. And she basically told news reporters that 75 to 80% of all of the incidents within the Atlanta community is being done by these different cliques. Now, Gunna was the last person to actually be, found who has some type of notoriety. You know what I mean? Like a person whose name a big name in this situation. It says the last time that he actually had an incident where he had to turn himself in was back in 2017. It was during a traffic stop where him and Young Thug were taken into custody alongside of a third man. And I think they had some Zy on them or something like that. But with this new situation, a lot of people are saying that, they don't understand how Gunna is being associated or accused of this outside of the only thing they could think of is his affiliation with YSL would be through the record label. Now, what prosecutors are saying that YSL is actually a clique that was co-founded by Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. They're saying that they're connected to the Bloods, but at the end of the day, we know that Gunna isn't on that side of things. He's on the blue side of things. So like this is where it gets crazy for me. As well as they want to say that he's accused of helping further the interests of YSL through his rap music and social media posts as well as music videos. I mean, they bring up Tuesday the First Amendment is one of the most precious rights, but she being the DA or whatever said that freedom of speech does not protect someone from having their own words become evidence in court. Now, like I said, Gunna was one of the first artists to be signed to YSL, and he, like I said, he's definitely a big artist. Gunna is one of the biggest artists in the game right now. I mean, let's just be all the way honest with this situation. I really don't see Gunna actually doing anything as far as on the other side of things. You know what I mean? In the streets. Gunna does a lot of different, like fashion, type things and whatever. He's been running around with the twin or whatever lately, or I don't know if they twins, the girl Chloe. But I don't see him actually being involved in too much. Like, I do content, you know what I mean? So when I cover Gunna, I never really see his name in any type of situations where he's actually into it with anybody. I mean, he said what he said about Freddie Gibbs, you know what I mean? But as far as him getting into it with people, I mean, we know that Gunna ain't really, on that type of time for real. I think Gunna may beat this. It's a state case. A lot of people think that Young Thug may beat his as well. Young Thug's charges aren't as bad as I thought they was initially. Like I want to say that like the articles were hit, like they basically putting Young Thug's name on the front of this. He's like the face of this case at this time. Young Thug is the face of the case, but when you look at the 2 counts that he's actually been arrested for, and then you look at some of the things that the other people were arrested for, Thug may not come out of this, even if, let's just say, even if Thug is convicted, he may not come out of this with a whole bunch of time, man. But that's if they are able to prove their case.
And the father of the Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug.
I'm going to fight for him to the end. I'm his father. That's what I do.
Countless fans may know Young Thug as a music star, but a new indictment of him and 27 others paints him as one of the founders of YSL.
What is YSL?
It's a business. It's a record label.
It is also a business and a record label. YSL is an acronym for Young Slime Life, and it is a hybrid gang that operates here in Atlanta.
I want any parent that has lost a child to the street, any parent that wants to join me in marching on streets, because these are our kids. These are our kids out here that's being misled, fairly linked to a lot of things. But, you know, it's up to us to prove it.
All right, so, his father is basically stating that he's going to be there for him. He actually, describes YSL as a business. Although, we know what the DA is actually saying that YSL is, man. This is going to be pretty interesting to see how this goes. I want to say that we seen what happened in New York with 9 Trey. I don't know if y'all paid attention or not, but we see what's going on in Florida. We see what's going on with 4K Trey in Baton Rouge. And now we have this situation going on in Chicago with O Block, as well as this newest situation with YSL in Atlanta. I believe, and even here in my city, they just hit a hood with the same thing. I think we're going to start seeing this a lot more going on in the inner cities. A lot of our people is going to actually fall to this situation. Let's be honest. And I'm not saying this about YSL. This has nothing to do with YSL, but at the end of the day, the streets that kind of got out of control in some places. So when, youngsters, like young people, start being, the people who are actually getting knocked down that have nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? When you have innocent women and people, who aren't in this particular lifestyle, ended up being placed in situations that they shouldn't be in and passing from incidents that they had nothing to do with. A lot of times, I believe that this is what's causing or justifying things like this to happen. So if we got those type of things going on in the community, although Young Thug and them may not be a part of that, may or may not be a part of it, they're able to use those statistics and use those situations as justification to come get these guys. Now, the crazy part about it is a lot of times, a lot of people within the music industry who aren't as big as Young Thug, who aren't as big as Gunna and some of the other people, but they are rappers and they do music, they're being accused as well as being sent down for these situations. So now that we can associate these type of incidents with people who are associated or affiliated with record labels or are actually the artists, you feel what I'm saying? They're able to now justify going after people such as big artists like Thug. I want to say Thug might be one of the biggest artists. Him and Gunna, they might be the biggest artists at this time that this has happened to. Because I don't think Shotty and them was, I ain't gonna say that they was as big as they had just got started. You know what I mean? I mean, that was a big case, but I can't think of no other big artists who have had these same situations pop off. And we may see more of this, man. Gotta be careful. I see they had Lil Baby's name and well, not his name, but they had his crew, 4 pockets full in paperwork. Now they're saying that those are hoods and different sets that they are monitoring. They had a couple different people on there, man. This thing is serious, and you got to be careful because they're not coming to give you 6 months. They're not coming to give you probation. They're coming to lock you up for some time, some significant time that possibly could ruin your entire career. Like, Gunna is saying, they're saying Gunna is 28 years old. Let's just say he gets 7 years. He'll be 35 when he get out. You feel what I'm saying? So you got 7 years of your career that, you going to miss. That's going to hurt. Get in the comment section, though, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'm Amadi the Ruler. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you get notified each and every time I upload new content.